Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTube messiah, often imitated, never duplicated, and Lake Erie WWE Champion, Tim Vicious. And well, we are talking about Monday Night Raw this week. Was in San Diego, California. But before we do, couple of things do need and want to address right at the very front. News broke Tuesday evening, right after, on Tuesday evening of last week. As of about 7:30 last Monday, Leon White, aka Vader, passed away. He, as many of you know, he got diagnosed with heart failure a few years ago. He's been fighting it, and it's sad to go. It's sad, really, Vader, he was one of the first big guys that I honestly remember seeing as a kid wrestling, when I was watching wrestling. And I watched a lot of the classics. I would watch shit on ESPN Classics, and I'd see giants and big guys like Haystacks Calhoun and all that shit. But Vader was the first big guy that I saw that was in current day, and I was just like, oh shit. And we've all made our fair share of jokes, about with Vader, over the past year, maybe more, given about the shit that, he threw out there on Twitter some time back, about with New Japan and with Will Ospreay and that kind of shit, with, on how some podcasts over some time now have talked about, how he had a particular smell, and on how he didn't really so much sweat as he frothed. And, yeah, we all made jokes, but it's sad to hear when a legend goes. And, I'm not saying I definitely think he's going to get put in the Hall of Fame this year, but he's definitely been worthy of Hall of Fame material. Leon White, Big Van Vader, we're going to miss you. That said, also other news that did get broke was Sami Zayn. I'm not 100% sure if I remember mentioning this on last week's episode, or if the news broke last week. Aside from the news with Vader, my mind's been about a million different other places, dealing with other matters outside of the Vicious Studios, still dealing with Maddie, Mothers Against Tim Vicious, terrible YouTubing. But, yeah, it was reported Sami Zayn, he tore both rotator cuffs and is now going to be out of action until 2019 at least, which absolutely sucks because, it does more than anything, because while it was great that Sami was getting to do his own thing and he was actually getting a heel run, and he said before he was never really a heel in the indies, but now that he was getting a feel for it, getting a chance to go with the flow on it, and that just kind of feels like fate just decided to say, yeah, you know what, fuck that, we're going to change you up. So, that sucks. Also, big news that broke, Colin Cassidy, Big Cass, was released as well. I am fairly certain I did bring that up last week. If I did bring it up, but I'm bringing it up again, I apologize. Like I said, mine, You can blame part of this on Wade because for some odd reason, somehow one of my producers wound up getting power of attorney on me and somehow convinced a pharmaceutical company to use me as a human guinea pig. And, well, let's just say on Tuesday I remember walking into a doctor's office, and on Saturday I woke up in a hot tub in Korea being known as Mr. Liu. Yeah, I'd rather not talk about anything else on that. Moving forward, though, let's get on with the show. Raw in San Diego, California. It starts off with the one Kurt Angle and Corbin in the ring, and Corbin not too happy that Juju Jojo addressed him as Raw General Manager and Hall of Famer Kurt Angle, accompanied by, he was insistent, "I'm the constable!" Dude, seriously? No. Anyways, Kurt wound up addressing, due to a conflict in his contractual issues, there will not be a multi-man match at Extreme Rules for Brock Lesnar's Universal title, which, okay, and now, I've given the benefit of the doubt for as long as I could, and, I feel like I say this almost every week because in a way I feel like I kind of have to defend myself more so for any new viewer that sees this show. I am not a fucking WWE fanboy. I do not toe the company line. I call things like I see it. If I see WWE do good, I say they do good. If I see them do shit, I say they do shit. The Brock Lesnar title reign, really good, interesting idea. Make that way when he's there, the title's more worth something more. It's, very much so like in the old days with the NWA when, such and such guy was champion, He would defend it in Alabama. So this Alabama promotion, big must-see attraction, world champion such and such is here. Texas, world champion Toledo, all that shit. Shit like that. But with this, it's just, after so long, it's just like, not really seeing them a whole lot. It's not like it, and when Brock is there, yes, Brock is there. But when he's not, it is honestly an afterthought to think, wait, Brock Lesnar? He's still signed with them, right? I mean, look, I'm the Lake Erie champ. I've defended this title more times since April 3rd than Brock and I'm pretty sure that Brock Lesnar has. In which case, I will issue this open challenge to the one and only Brock Lesnar. If he ever does wish to have a title versus title match with me, brother, all you gotta do is just come to Lake Erie. You bring Paul Lee, we'll get the papers signed. That said, though, Kurt, he talks about how Brock's not going to be there. Then out comes Roman, swimming in on a sea of booze, and I really do feel bad for Roman, because Roman, he could wind up becoming the most gifted wrestler in the ring in the history of wrestling from this point in time in 2018 until the year 3018. He could be the greatest wrestler for the next 1,000 years. But people are still going to shit on him. Why? Because the very loud minority decided to throw out a whole bunch of boos and hisses and hashtag boycott such and such. Roman's not my champion. Dude, if he's not your champion, then why the hell are you watching the damn product? You talk about you want to boycott it, go ahead. Do it. If you're going to boycott it, don't talk about it. Don't mention it. Get away from it. Go. Leave it for someone else to enjoy. It's the age-old argument of what I've been saying before. Whatever, wrestling is wrestling. Whatever you want to watch, whether it's WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Combat Zone, Evolved, you know, even the freaking IWA death matches, you know. You want to watch any of that. Whatever you want to watch, go for it. If it's wrestling and you like it, don't worry on if someone's going to shit on you for liking it. But back to the lecture at hand, Roman comes out. He starts going off about on how Brock's not going to be here. You know, he deserves to be the champion, this, that, and the other. And then out comes Lashley, who talks about on how, Roman, you've been chasing after Brock for the past few years now, and you've got this much to show for it. So, how about you put a real competitor in front of Brock Lesnar? And, you know, them two look like they're getting ready to lock horns right then and there. And out come the Revival, which case I'm pretty sure Cody's just like, fuck the Revival. So yeah, they come out, they come screaming at, or not screaming, I'm sorry, wrong choice of words. They come out, they start bashing them too. Kurt makes an official match, rematch from last week, Revival versus Lashley and Roman, and there we go. Revival, they start off, Revival try making a quick attack, they get double teamed by Roman and Lashley right off bat. Now I'm not gonna lie, the whole dynamic between Lashley and Roman, it did look choppy when they tried doing double team moves, but you know, honestly, I'm pretty sure some Smarky McSmarkerton is going to go out there, look at that, watch it 5 million times and be like, well, that was a botch. They were supposed to do this when instead Roman did this. Dude, just sit back and watch the show for a minute. Think about this for a minute. They're not supposed to be on the same page. So while one is looking to do a clothesline, the other's going for a back elbow. Yeah, don't let them connect. Don't let them two be on the same page. It adds to the story. God forbid, small little things like that should be done to help build story. Because, in all honesty, the big story that's going to get built up, and it's probably going to get announced next week, is Roman versus Lashley, Extreme Rules, #1 contender match. More than 10 gets you 20, that's my bet. That's my pick. Now, back to this match right here. You know, like I said, they kind of had a bit of a choppy start, you know, with connecting. And Roman, he was pretty much the team punching bag. But, you know, match wound up coming to an end. Scott Dawson wound up actually getting a roll-up on Roman Reigns. Got the 1, 2, 3. So the Revival won. So, yeah. Now, I know some people were out there like, oh, well, that's just the same match as last week. What the hell is this? Oh, this bullshit. The creative's not being different. Creative's run out of ideas. So you're telling me you work backstage in that multi-million-dollar company. You work with the creative team. You sit there and think, well, wait, what if we did this kind of a match to follow up from last week to build up to down the road? You think that could work? I think some people would catch up on that. Are you sure? You're telling me you do that. Because if you do, then why the hell are you bitching about it on Twitter? You know? But either way, after that, Roman and Lashley, they looked at each other. They had a little bit of a, you know, like a screaming Mimi fight. And then after that, Lashley walked off. Next up, singles action. Matt Hardy versus Curtis Axel. And I gotta tell you, Curtis Axel, not really able to connect with fans for the most part. except for when he's doing parodies of other characters. You know, when he was doing Axel Mania and coming out as, you know, coming out as a ripoff of Hulk Hogan with Damian Sandow being a copy of, doing a cheap carbon copy of Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh yeah, dig it. You know, oh, not many people can do the Macho Man, You're gonna get somebody to be the Macho Man Randy Savage. There's only one man out there who could do it. And that's Jay Lethal. Dig it. Yeah. If you're, you know, but I just, you know, that's my thing. I just noticed Axel, the only way he really seems to connect with the fans and the fans actually will pop for him is if he's doing parodies of other characters, you know. So if that's honestly the case, my personal opinion, why not give him one where he's ripping off someone? Have him come out each week, you know, come out looking like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Jake Roberts, Ted DiBiase, you know, even rip off current guys. Have him come out trying to be like John Cena and get his ass kicked, you know. Bo Dallas dressing up as Bray Wyatt, though, was hands down hilarious. We'll say that, because that was like seeing your little brother. That was the literal epitome of seeing the little brother looking up to the big brother like, I'm gonna be just like you. But yeah, as far as the match between Matt and Curtis, this was a piss break, because the second the bell rang to start the match, it rang to end the match, because Matt got elevated up onto the ring, on the turnbuckle. He like slipped, and then Axel wound up doing a roll up, 1, 2, 3. That was it. So yeah. Next up, we get tag action. We get the Authors of Pain, which are finally back. And honestly, I'm not complaining on this, because I've said this before when people were saying, oh, where's the Authors of Pain? Where's the Authors of Pain? Here's the thing, folks. Would you have wanted the Authors of Pain to be there and be on a losing streak while Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas were building up momentum for a tag title match? Because I'm sorry, you look at it on paper, you have the Authors of Pain, who are these big, giant, thick, monstrous sons of bitches, you know, who look like frickin' bouncers for a nightclub, losing to Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel? I mean, seriously? Ugh. Anyways, Authors of Pain were going against local jobbers. They were something, they were brothers, they were Gibsons, something or other, but Authors of Pain won. That was another piss break. And next up next match we get, it's Alexa Bliss versus Natayla, but this match came to be from Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Hello, Mickie. Coming on out, cutting a promo, and real quick, a lot of people were saying, oh, Mickie James is finally back. Where's she been? Where's she been? Okay, well, let's go in the Wayback Machine. Last time she was on Raw and appeared, memory best serves, she was getting put in an arm breaker by Ronda Rousey. So, in a way, it kind of makes sense not having her on the main TV. You know? But either way, Bliss was coming out, cutting a promo on how, you know, she's better and she's going to beat Nia, and Ronda, you know, what she did was uncalled for, unnecessary, and, you know, a 30-day suspension was going easy on her. And then out comes Natayla, who is about as monotone as a phone sex operator. Not that I would know how monotone one is. Don't judge, okay? Don't judge. I was very curious in my teenage years. Moving forward, Natalya comes out trying to hype up on how, you know, Ronda is her friend and her training partner. Okay, we get it. You know her. Big whoop. You know? So, she's talking about on how Alexa Bliss is on borrowed time because once Ronda gets back, she's going to wind up whooping her ass. Bliss then cuts this promo on Natty about, you know, being away at the Caribbeans or whatever the hell for Total Divas. She's like, oh, I wasn't there. And we got a match, but I didn't, but I came back with something. And then out comes Nia Jax. And yeah. So we get an impromptu match. Alexa Bliss versus Natalya. Now, Bliss, for the most part, was locking Natty up on the ground for a good bit. You know, nice, decent pace. You know, nothing to write home about, though. You know, match came to an end. Mickie James tried to run interference, distracting Natty, and then Nia Jax did it back to Bliss, and then Natalya wanted to block and then the sharpshooter, and then tap out, like almost immediately. I don't know. Personally, as far as submissions go, I'm not a fan of the instant tap out right away. You know, hold out for like hold out for like 3 to 5 seconds and then tap, because it just makes it look like you're trying to fight the move. You know, trying to be like, no, I can't no more. You know, it makes sense like that, you know. But either way. Next up, we get women's trio action. The Riott Squad going against Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ember Moon. And Kurt wound up cornering Bayley earlier in the evening, saying, you and Sasha are having this match tonight, and this is your last chance at you two getting along. Now, go out there and have fun. And you're going to have so much fun that you're going to have to get surgery to remove your smile. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of when my mom told me I had to go and babysit my nephew when I was like 17. Sorry. Anyways, as far as the match goes, it was a nice start. Ember Moon, she was pretty much holding it on her own. She was a good bit on fire right before the break. Next thing you know, not so much. She was being worked on. Sasha wound up getting a hot tag in, started clearing house, hitting hard. Match came to an end though when Sasha went to go over to see Ruby on something. Went to go over, stop, I think it was Sarah Logan or Liv on something, and then next thing you know, Ruby wound up doing a quick roll up on her, 1, 2, 3, that was it, and then Sasha's just sitting in there like, huh? And then Bayley crawled into the ring right out of nowhere, wham! Just proceeded to roll on her, beat the shit out of Sasha. And then got all up in her face. This is what you get. This is what you get for everything you put me through. You ain't shit. And they had to censor it out because she did. She said, you ain't shit. You know, which case, yes, beautiful, absolutely love it. And to the people that were all out there asking, well, who's the heel now? Dude, it was a tag match to make a heel. Yes, Sasha has been hinting at being built as a heel, but this is now this is the stepping stone to do a double turn. Duh. Can nobody else? I feel like I'm the only one that really sees the obvious on this. You know? I'm not saying if it's good or bad, I'm just saying it's the obvious, that's what it is. But yeah, next thing you know, when Bayley's in the back, Kurt corners her and says, well, because of what you did, Sasha has to spend all this time in the trainer's room. Now you are mandatory. You have to go to counseling next week. Like, seriously? This is a perfect time to bring back Dr. Shelby. Let's go for it. You know? Anyways. Next matchup we get is Braun Strowman and Kevin Owens going against Finn Balor and Baron Corbin. And this match came to be because, you know, earlier Corbin and Kurt were talking, and then Finn came in talking about on how he wanted a chance to get back at his Universal title back. Corbin wound up making the little man comment, and then Finn just looked and was like, so the people at TGI Fridays know that the manager at TGI Fridays know you have his vest. Which you see Kurt bust out laughing right off bat. And then you see Braun Strowman walk in saying, you know, I feel bad I did for doing what I did to Kevin Owens. He did say you wanted to be my friend. So I want a tag match with him tonight. And then he hinted at, I want you two, Finn and Corbin. And then Kurt was like, perfect. So pretty much this entire night was a tag team match show. But now with this match, you know, a nice decent start. Braun and Owens for the most part were leading the match. And really like the offset chemistry. Like Owens like, can I really trust this guy? Are you serious? This guy tried to pound me into hamburger meat last week. You want me to work with him? You want me to team with him? And Kurt's just like, hey, this could be a blessing. You did say you wanted to, you did say you wanted to team with them before. Now you are. For all you know, this could be the first step towards building a friendship. Have fun out there tonight. And yeah. So yeah. Which led to this match. Like I said, Braun and Owens, for the most part, kind of leading the match. Yeah. Real screwy right out of nowhere. Baron Corbin just starts beating up Finn, and which then leads to a count-out loss, and Braun and Kevin win. And then, one thing I will say though, before the match came to an end that I absolutely loved was when Braun Strowman started doing that steamroll thing, running around the ring to knock everyone down. Kevin Owens was on the apron. He literally dropped himself down and rolled inside the ring to make sure he wouldn't get hit. That was fucking beautiful. If you did not see that, you need to go back, watch this match, and see that, because Kevin Owens is a master of building the little things. He makes all the little things for the bigger picture. But after the match, Owens tried celebrating with Strowman, and it didn't necessarily go well, and then Kevin just proceeded to go run and hide in the back, hid in the trainer's room, and was like, grabbed two security guys, like, hey, you're security, right? Come on me. And tried to make a run for the exit, got to the valet. Started looking at him, was like, alright, give me my key, I need my car now. I don't have it. Well, what do you mean you don't have it? Give me my key! I gave you my key earlier, just give it to me now. I can't. Yeah, that guy has it. Turn around, you see Braun just standing there. I left you a little something for your car. You turn the camera the other way, and you see a car flipped upside down. And you know, given the fact that we've seen Braun Strowman flip over an ambulance, that's actually not out of the ordinary to see. That's actually something that not relatively shocked, considering it's Strowman. So yeah, now this leads us to main event of the night, and dare I say, match of the night. Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler, rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. And this had a slow start to it. I'm not complaining on it. I'm not personally a fan of slow, methodical starts, but this did kind of have a bit of a slow start to it to me personally. Ziggler, he was leading it for the most part. It was very much so a ground-based match right up until Seth got his second win. But once he did, though, that's when it started moving into that Seth Rollins. That's when it started moving into that gear where it's like that Seth Rollins type match. You're like, whoa. And it was good. Now, at one point, McIntyre did get thrown out because when the ref wasn't looking, McIntyre hit Seth, and the ref just saw Seth knocked down, and Drew was near him, and then the ref made a judgment call. You're out of here! Threw him out, and then, so yeah, them two start going at it some more. Match comes to an end when Seth, just as he gets Ziggler up, hits the superplex, and then floats over into a Falcon Arrow. You see the ref counting. 1, 2, and the ref gets pulled out by Drew McIntyre, and then Drew slides in, proceeds to beat up Seth. Match is thrown out by disqualification. And so yeah, after they start doing that, then they proceed to do a roll-on on Seth, and then out comes Roman to help save Seth. And so we're probably going to get a tag match next week, my guess. You know? So yeah. So that does it for this week's show, folks. So, like all normal, do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Make sure y'all look for me on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. Do also have one of those Facebook gimmicks, Tim Ash. If you find me on there from here on my Twitter at Tim Vicious, make sure y'all look for me. Make sure y'all mention me, mention that to me. That way I don't think you got your creep Joe going. Also, do have another Twitter account, Tim_Vicious, just in the off chance I get ghosted or put in Twitter jail. Also, folks, make sure you follow all of these cool ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel and Rollins, make sure you check out Axel's news project for wrestling. They talk about British and European wrestling. Kenny Killer, my two good brothers. I am Danny Sunday, and the executive producer for this show, Oliver Ben, who did provide music for this week's show. It's out there on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details are down below. Cranky Grandpa, Aaron_DeBar, and Dazzy MWP. And folks, like I always tell you, you know me great, you hate me.
Who is I, the one most fly, the high?